Up YouTube channel. What you telling me is one half of the planet's goddamn best tag team to Brotherhood, Charlie Brooks here. And today we are back again with another episode of Brooks Backlog. Now today we feature clips from Vinny Daniels discussing Rey Mysterio's title win, and clips from Jack Walker discussing The Rock. But before we get into them two little clips, we have one here from Andros Jay discussing the iconic tag team.
Something to touch upon, because mentioned the TLC match, something which is quite odd now is that of those three tag teams, the Dudley Boys, the Hardys and Edge and Christian, they are all split up in terms of companies now, and it's so bizarre because at one time it was looking like obviously WWE would have had Christian, but obviously Christian now gone to AEW and has joined Matt Hardy there, where obviously Jeff Hardy and Edge have remained in the WWE as active wrestlers. Devon is in the WWE as a producer, I believe, and Bubba Ray is still in Ring of Honor, or he's somewhere. He's not in WWE or AEW, that's all I know. If this could happen, and they were all healthy and, you know, like, it was fine, would you be interested in seeing another tag match between any of those three teams take place?
I think I would. I genuinely think I would. I know it wouldn't be the same magic as it was all those years ago, but I genuinely would love to see it. You know, that all of them still got gas in the tank, and they still prove now they can still wrestle. And if anything, some of them are actually in better shape now than they ever were back in the day. Yeah. So I reckon they could really pull something out of the bag if they wanted to. I mean, obviously, I'm still going to be biased and stick with the Hardys and would want to see them, but most definitely, I reckon they could all still pull something off.
Yeah, I've always thought that, before with Christian to go to AEW, I was thinking, potentially, could we get it? Could WWE just be able to pry Matt Hardy back for that as a dream match at SummerSlam or something?
Yeah.
Not this year, but next year. But now it's looking... Well, sadly, it won't be able to be happening because of how the contracts have been up. But it doesn't leave the question now, like, with people not retiring, it seems, ever. Unless you're Batista, it seems. No one else intends to retire. Did it leave the question, after Christian's AEW contract or after Jeff's current WWE contract, is up? Like, could they go to another company and make that happen? Maybe even in 2 or 3 years' time, which, they've been in their 50s, but, Goldberg's proved you can still do it. So is Chris Jericho. Sense, of course. So of this time period, then let's go from about WrestleMania 18 up to about WrestleMania 25 or so. What apart from Rock and Hogan, because we mentioned it, we touched upon it. What is your favourite match or moment from WrestleMania?
Damn, you got me there. I would probably say Ray in the triple threat with Orton and Angle winning the title for me. I was a big Rey Mysterio fan. Again, used to watch him on a Saturday when they had the SmackDown replay. So I really watched him when he came in, and he was just like, I'd never seen anything like it before. Like, it was just mad to me. Like, obviously that style is not replicated now, but you do see a lot more high flying stuff. But at the time, there wasn't really anyone doing anything like him, or not. There probably was, but there was no one doing it and, as widely known for it and as accessible to watch. There's probably people out there in Indies at the time, like Mexico, doing it, but there was no one on the mainstream TV that was really doing it, and it just blew my mind. So to see his journey to go from that all the way to WrestleMania, and then win the title, was huge.
I think that's one of the good things about WrestleMania. Like, obviously, a lot of criticism to obviously what WWE do on a yearly basis, but when you see those people that you were fans of, when they were starting out, going to WrestleMania having great moments, like Daniel Bryan, had his crowning moment at WrestleMania 30. And like other people like Seth Rollins had his moment obviously at 31. Like, it's quite a good thing, and it brings the whole thing of it being a big scale event.
Because especially when it comes to in-ring, The Rock is just not on anyone's level. I think The Rock is only reason The Rock's at that level is because he had feuds with people like Triple H. He had feuds with people like Stone Cold, who elevated his in-ring ability. But watching him against Cena, it just didn't click for me. I don't know. I never understood him. I never bought him as the most electrifying man. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, I think obviously when you started watching wrestling, obviously later than his peak, and obviously, this is something which will come up for people that are younger than yourself. More people now are known through his movies, and so it will be a case of, was he a movie star that wrestled, You know, there'd be that real conversation happening with some people. We don't. Was he making movies and just went to wrestling?
I know people who don't know he was a wrestler.
It's mad.
Like people would go, "Oh, I heard The Rock's now doing wrestling." And I'm like, The Rock's always done wrestling. What do you mean?
I mean, this was obviously it was part of, you know, like a comeback that he had, and it was interesting that he was a part of WrestleMania for more years on the trot as a part-timer than he was when he was a full-time wrestler, because he appeared in one capacity or another at WrestleMania for, I think it was 5 years in a row. At one point,
I think it was 5 years.
27, the guest host kind of thing. 28, 29 matches. 30, he had this opening promo with Hogan and Stone Cold. 31. Was it 31 or 32? We came under the
31. He set. I think it was 31. He set fire to the Rock sign.
That was 32. He was in the crowd with Rousey, wasn't he? He was in the crowd with Rousey.
Because they talk about this with the next person, but that was a terrible pay-per-view.
Which 32?
31.
Yeah.
Well, 31. The one that went on for like 7 hours.
32, you mean? 32, not 31.
Yeah.
31 was decent. 31 was the heist of the century. Seth Rollins' cash in.
That was great. Yeah.
That was great. 32 was Reigns and Triple H.
Yeah, that one dragged.
Yeah.
That one dragged.